Ohio, Brno, in German Brno. The statute city in the Czech Republic in the historical region Moravia, near confluence of Svitava and Evraky. Administrative center of the South Moravian region and regions of Brno city and Brno suburb. Former capital 1641-1928/49 of Moravia. The city with more than 1,000-year history. Second largest city of the Czech Republic after the capital of Prague, which is in 205, came from her, and the largest city of Moravia. Forms the country's third and Moravia's second city agglomeration. Conceding capital in Ostrava. Population of the city -378,000 inhabitants. 2012. In 1921, 222,000 inhabitants, from them more Germans. Full agglomeration -728.1 thousand inhabitants. 2004. History. It is for the first time mentioned in the 11th century as the loch. However, the territory of Brno began to become populated since 5th century. About origin of the name of the city there are several versions. It agrees the first, the name comes from the Slavic verb brit. To defend, strengthen. It agrees another, from the word hill. According to the third is the distorted name of the Celtic ancient settlement Eberodunan. The city had important defensive value up to the middle of the 19th century. At the end of the 12th century the city becomes the center of the specific principality of Przemyslovashi. The name Brno during this era, the Brzhetoslavsky hail. In 1243 I acquired the rights of the royal free city, and at the end of the 13th century I became the residence of Margraves Moravian. Since the 14th century the Moravian territorial diet spent to Brno each 2 years began to resolve issues of local government. During the revolt of Hussites the city remained as faithful to the king. In 1454 the king Ladislav Pogrebek from the city expelled all Jews. Being the possession Gabsbergov. 1526-1918. Brno I was the economic and cultural center of Moravia. His advantageous geographical location favorably influenced development of Brno. In the city the international fairs were annually held. The capital of Moravia supported a revolt of the Czech estates of 1618-1620. During 30 years' war the city twice, in 1643 and 1645, was besieged by the Swedish troops. The city didn't give in also to Prussian troops in 1742. In 1777 Brno became the center of episcopacy. Spilbergsky Fortress in Brno was one of the most known prisons of Austria-Hungary. I existed till 1858. In the 19th century there was a formation of the industry of Brno. The city became one of the most important centers of labor movement in the Czech Republic. In 1899 Brno received also the university. The Technical University. In 1918 the city was a part of Czechoslovakia. underwent strong destructions in the years of World War II, generally from bombings by Anglo-American aircraft. It is released on April 26, 1945 by troops of the Second Ukrainian Front during the Bratislava and Brno offensive operation. After 1945, according to Beneš's decrees, most of Germans was expelled. In the city of Brno, moderately continental climate with soft winter and in the warm summer. Average annual temperature -9.4 C, an absolute maximum -37 C, an absolute minimum -26.4 C. Average temperature during the summer period -17 C, in winter -1.0 C. Average annual air temperature -9.1 C. Relative air humidity -75.0%. Average speed of wind -3.4 m/s. Economy. Nowadays Brno is one of the main economic centers of the Czech Republic. The major industry, heavy mechanical engineering. Chemical industry, production of machines, turbines, farm vehicles. Tractor plants and electrotechnical products are developed. Precision instruments, control and management systems critical and productions are issued. Unis company. Textile, food, cement industry. Woodworking and production of furniture. Optical industry. Brno, the venue of the International Industrial Exhibitions. The first passed in 1926, the area of the exhibition territory, more than 500,000 m. Here take place also international tourist, financial and other fairs. Transport. In the city there is an international airport of Trzana. In 2007 the most popular directions were London, Prague, Girona, Spain, and Moscow, of which about 168,000 people were the share. As of July 2021, year-round regular flights in the directions London Stansted, 4 flights 2 week, and Milan, 2 flights 2 week, are made. Regular flights in the directions are added to a summer season to them. The schedule of 2021. Heraklion, Zakynthos, Rhodes, Corfu, Braides, Burgas, Antalya, Hurghada, Marseilles, Varna. The city is important road knot. The southern part of the city is crossed by the major Czech highway D passing along a route Prague, Brno, Ostrava, Bogumin. The border with Poland proceeds in the direction of Katowice Highway A. Within the city from this highway, Highway D following along a route of Brno, Bratslav branches off. The border with Slovakia proceeds in the direction of Bratislava as Highway D. Other important branches Highway D, which as of March 2018 is built on the site Regrad, Pogorzelica. Proceeds as the road of the first class 52 further. Continuation of this road to Mikulov's direction and connection with the Austrian A2 Vienna is planned. This road runs on the route which was under construction in 1938-1943, the Highway Vienna-Wroclaw-Berlin. It is planned that the section of the same road passing on the north along a route of Brno, Svitavy, will be completed and will become Highway D. As of March 2018, in this direction the road of the first class 43 following on runs Marshernat Brno, Svitava, Kraliki. Border with Poland. In the city, construction of a city road ring. The road of the first class 42 is planned. As of March 2018, only a northern part is completely ready. In 2018 is planned to begin construction on 2 sites, western and northeast. Construction of the whole road is planned to finish after 2030. Brno, the large railway junction. The first train came to Brno in 1839. Through the city there passed the following railway lines. 240. Brno Iglowa. 244. Brno Kruszywenina Diewiszowka. 250. Gawlikov-Brod, Brno Bratslav. 260. Česká Křpova, Brno. 300. Brno Přerov. And 340. Brno Uherskردist. In the city there are 6 passenger and freight railway stations. 2 Główne Nadrashi. Main station. Krolovo Pole, Źrenice, Slatina, Gornja Szpica and Dolnia Vinodraza. Lower station. 1 Cargo. 2 Malomerzaca. There are short platforms on which some passenger trains do a technical stop for landing/disembarkation of railway workers. The station is absent in schedules. Traveling development is combined with the Źrenice station. And also 3 stopping points. It is Flatter, Rekovica and Czernovica. In 2019, in connection with reconstruction of ways, the most part of passenger traffic is carried out through the lower station. Dolny Nadrashi. Instead of the main thing. The city is the center of the integrated transport system of the South Moravian region. IDs Czechs. Within this transport system, uniform prices, tickets, numbering of routes and rules of journey function. Within the city there are tariff zones 100. Downtown. And 101. The outskirts of the city. City transport is presented by tram, trolleybus. The largest network in the country. Bus, train and the taxi. Plans for creation of partially underground high-speed tram metro tram are considered by city administration and the public. Education. Brno is one of the most important university cities in the Czech Republic with 6 university and academic educational institutions. The largest of them is Masarykov the University, about 42000 students. He is followed the Technical University of Brno with more than 22400 students, by the University of Veterinary and Pharmaceutical Sciences, the University Rural and Forestry of Mendel, Academy of Music of Janáček and the University of Defense. Ecology. The air basin is rather seriously polluted by the motor transport, the industrial enterprises and also the enterprises of the industrial zone of Ostrava that is very well visible on the card of pollution of the Czech Republic. Hearing 2016, 2015, 2014. Heating of many houses, coppers for combustion of solid fuel also considerably influences pollution level. In the territory of nuclear power plant of Dukovany, which is in only 22 km to the southwest from Brno, there is a storage of radioactive materials. Hundreds of tons of highly radioactive uranium and plutonium. In wintertime, at clear windless weather and high humidity, the smog wind concentration of pollutants especially increases in air is often observed. In Brno, on the square the Cabbage Market, one of the first Czech theatres, the Redoubt, is located. The largest theatre in Brno, the National Theatre operating on 3 stages, is considered. New Renaissance Theatre of Magan, Theatre of the Redoubt, and the latest Theatre of Janáček. However, the operating theatres in Brno, it is much bigger. Kus is on a Líž Hodovadlo, City Theatre of Brno, Bolka Polivky Theatre, Radost Puppet Theatre, Polaka Theatre, G Studio Theatre, 7.5, an Office of Muses Theatre, and also New Children's Theatre, Vankovka. Movie theatres. Till 1998 years in Brno, several tens of movie theatres worked. Within the 1998 years movie theatres, Adriatic Sea, Yalta, Film Cafeteria of Rio, Film Cafeteria of Bobby, Primera Club, Slavia and Svetiza ceased to work. In 1999 the modern multi-movie theatre of the 1st Century Company in Shopping Centre Olympia in Maritza, in comparison with other movie theatres technically more better equipped, opened that put him out of competition. The effect amplified in 2001 with the advent of the next multi-movie theatre, Big Stopper, in the centre that led to closing of movie theatres, Alpha, Beseda, Capitoli, Moravia, Isvetstvayat, and Iskustvo, Liucerna and Skala movie theatres had this time. Both multi-movie theatres in 2002 became the property of the Palace Cinemas Company. The largest art gallery in Brno, the Moravian Gallery, which is engaged in art in all his width and covering traditional art up to 1817, is considered. The House of Arts of Brno, which exposition is presented in, G Gallery, specializes in an exhibition of modern creativity. One more visual arts center are galleries of the Cultural Center of Brno, Gallery Young, Cabinet Gallery, and at the Good Shepherd Gallery. Gallery of Vaniek in the territory of the reconstructed country house of Mitrovsky of Vankovky. Vankovky Gallery. The constant venue of exhibitions, the actions accompanying fairs and also public actions. The most outstanding museum in Brno, the Museum of the Moravian Earth, which possesses buildings, is considered. The Dietrichstensky Palace, the Episcopal Yard, Mendelianum, and the covered Anthropos Pavilion. Also, the Museum of Brno, the Museum of the Equipment in Brno, and the Museum of the Gypsy Culture work in the city. In Brno there are a Library of Moravia and City Public Library of Jury Magan in Brno with a number of branches. Festivals. Brno, the city in the middle of Europe, known first of all the international competitive parade of the fireworks, Ignis Brunensis. From June to September in the center of Brno there passes the cultural summer, consisting of the dramatized festivals at which statements from plays by Shakespeare till folklore national holidays are played. In August every year there pass Days of Brno, the festivals devoted to successful defense of the city against Swedes in 1645. These statements reconstructing fighting scenes, characteristic of that era, are by all means carried up. In Brno there take place 2 annual festivals of symphonic music. International Musical Brno Festival, known under this name from 1965, and International Musical Spielberg Festival under the Open Sky. The multi-genre festival, Semtex Culture, presents popular youth music, and the Festival of Experimental Music, Alternativa Brno, reflecting the modern alternative trends. Since 2001, the Festival of Flights and Balloons of Balloon Jam became an annual event. Till 1989 in the Mariana Udoli there took place peaceful marches. Sport. In Brno there is an old tradition of fans. Attendance of soccer was recorded both for Czechoslovakia and for the independent Czech Republic here. In 2001, because of a catastrophic condition of the main stadium, the football club of Brno moved from Lovenik to stadium on Serbskaya Street. The new stadium, built for Lushenkomi and having the capacity of 3,000 people, Colosseum Brno, will be able to recover football fans. Also near Brno there is an autodrome, the Route Brno, on which there pass the stages Motic, Fia D, Otskan Formula 2. Sites. In Brno, the Centers of Science and Education, branch of the Czech Academy of Sciences, Masarykov the University, the Brensky Technical University, the Veterinary and Pharmaceutical University, Yanuková Academy of Musical Arts are located. Number of the museums. City Museum, Moravian Gallery, Art and Industrial, National Technical. The main architectural monuments of Brno are located in historical, central parts of the city. It is Gothic Cathedral CVV, Piet and Pavel, the 13th-20th centuries, Street, Jakub's Church, the 13th-16th centuries, with Kostakranilishi, where, in particular, remains of patrons of the city, Saints Constantine and Primitivist Street. Tomasz, the 14th-17th centuries, are based CVV. Yanav, the 14th-18th centuries. Gothic Old, the 14th-16th centuries. And New, the 16th-17th centuries. Town halls. Attributes of two main Brensky legends are in an arch of the old town hall. It is carved wheel and a Brensky dragon whose duties are carried out at present by a crocodile. Numerous constructions in style the Renaissance and Baroque. Theatre, 15th century. The monastery of Capuchins, built in the 17th century with burials of the Czech aristocratic families. The central part, which is the pedestrian zone, is surrounded by the ring of boulevards created in the 1860th on the place of the demolished fortifications, and on Petrov's slope of the hill gardens were located Denisova. Further, the industrial and residential development of the 19th and 20th centuries. In the northeast and the southeast of the city, industrial regions are located. The master plan of building of the city is approved in 1945. Three remarkable architectural constructions of the 20th century: Villa Tugendot, 1929-1930, the architect Mies van der Rohe, a monument of the World Heritage. Opera Theatre, rooms of the International Industrial Exhibition. A modern sight of the city are unusual hours in the form of a sleeve, the Brensky chiming clock. In the Augustinian monastery, the founder of genetics Gregor Mendel made the experiments. On Porici Street there passes the railway line connecting the exhibition centre of Brno with the railway station. In the exhibition centre regularly there take place exhibitions of railway equipment. Trains go on an exhibition under the own steam, directly down the street. Near Brno the settlement of Slatkov, near which there was the well-known Austerlitsky battle, is located. Archaeology and Paleoanthropology. Vyvrk na Lidocheský site Brno Francouzka was found in 1891 at construction of the sewerage on the street of Francouzka round crossing with Prodlatskaya Street. The skeleton of the person and a bone of animals. A shovel and mammoth tusks, a skull and edges of a rhinoceros, teeth of a horse, a part of the polished horn of a deer, a sink with solar or female symbols. Stone tools and also a men's sculpture was found. Buried it was covered with red paint, on some bones traces of bone inflammation of the periostate were found. Possibly, the important person of society of the time accompanied with ceremonies and a set of unusual handouts was buried here. Also far. Write comments. Read comments. Interesting people will tell interesting stories. All of good mood and good luck.